We have all made OCs with these specific character design choices, so today we will go through what they actually say about your characters. And to keep this video more organized, I have done my best to group these up into 4 different categories. But let's start with the body parts category first. And basically, these are just things that are attached to the character's body. If you gave your OC wings, they most definitely have issues with freedom. They either want it, they lost it, or just don't know really what to do with it. More specifically, if they have wings as arms, you as a creator find basic human functionality too boring and you want your OC to suffer picking things up. If they have wings with thorns on them, they have a dark dramatic past they don't like to talk about. They are seen above everyone else in some way. And no matter what kind of wings they really are, this OC thinks they are more important than everyone else, at least just a little bit. If an OC has claws, you didn't just pick them for aesthetic. Whether they use them or not, it does simply just make the OC scary because they are always capable of using them. Like this OC doesn't quite fit in peaceful environments and they are a walking controlled danger. And same goes with the unnaturally long nails also. They're elegant with just a little hint of danger mixed in. If your OC has a tail, they cannot hide how they feel because the tail is always snitching, like constantly, which makes it impossible to make them into a mysterious character because the tail is like always giving away their emotions. They most likely have this slightly playful energy even if they're being completely serious about something. And they also get attached to others quite fast and react to things before thinking. But they are the most honest character with a golden heart, in my opinion. If your OC has a prominent scar, they have been through something that changed them as a person, and they also need everyone else to know about it. Scars in general give the "I survived but I am defined by what happened" kind of energy, but like what actually happened? Because half of you didn't make lore for that. You wanted to make this OC deep, but usually it ends up being at the surface level.
No.
If you gave your OC horns, they like to be perceived as dangerous and powerful. And horns in general just kind of scream identity because it is something they cannot hide even if they wanted to. So usually they just own them. And the same goes with like antlers also. But I feel like usually these OCs just have a bit of an ego. Am I really wrong about that?
Nice.
And similarly to horns, if your OC has some kind of unnatural ears, like animal ears for example, they actually feel things deeply. You love to exaggerate their emotions by perking up ears or twitching them to demonstrate that they are alert or excited, which I would say is pretty fun to see. Huh? If the OC has other markings on their skin other than scars, their body is a map of something, like their culture or powers. Sometimes it is just random and you like the design and call it lore later on. Or if it was a structured thing, you thought about it a bit too much. Like this OC's identity is just tied to something bigger than themselves, whether they like it or not. Most likely they don't, that is just a fact. And if your OC has tattoos, they made a permanent decision based on temporary emotions, but they have lived a life. Like tattoos are like memories of some of their past struggles they carry with them for some reason. Or you just wanted to make a big intimidating character and you didn't know how to make them cool, so you just gave them a tattoo sleeve. Then you like OCs who feel experienced without actually having any real experience, which is fine. I won't blame you. If you have decided to give your OC unnaturally long body parts, such as arms, legs, or something like that, you want your OC and everyone who looks at them to feel uncomfortable. If they have long arms, they are always in your space. Like, even if they are not touching you, it kind of feels like they could. If you give them long legs though, they are the opposite, just like untouchable and out of reach. What the hell? In general, I would say exaggerated proportions on characters create this imbalance, and the character's presence really just matters more than their actions. They don't have to do anything dramatic, they just have to stand there and make everyone else feel unease. If you gave your OC a mermaid tail, you wanted them to be stuck between 2 worlds and thriving in like neither of those, which is why they always love to romanticize their struggles no matter what it is. It is kind of sad how they can often go through mobility issues. They are either way too powerful or completely helpless depending on the setting. They are just a one big aesthetic tragedy. Very beautiful, but so inconvenient. And something else that I also find very inconvenient as a digital artist is that whenever I get an idea for a new character, I struggle to find a place where I can freely dump all my ideas and inspiration in. But luckily, that won't be a problem with the sponsor of today's video, Milanote. Milanote is a platform that I personally like to use as my digital sketchbook, where I plan out my ideas for drawings and videos, but I also like to collect inspiration from my original characters here as well. And now, I will show you how I created this board to plan out some characters I have drawn in this exact video. You can either create your own board from scratch or use one of their many board templates if that is what you prefer. I first started this off by coming up with the setting where these characters will be in, and the setting I chose was circus. And I want to add some inspiration pictures here of this setting, and luckily Milanote makes that very simple. So you can either just copy and paste pictures on the board, or if you find most of your inspiration pictures from Pinterest like I do, you can copy the link of the pin and paste it on the link box here, so you can get back to the original pin if you need to find similar pictures in the future as well. And based on inspo I have so far collected on the board, I have created a little section down here of what kind of clothes I would like my characters to have. And actually, let's add some color inspiration here as well. And we can easily do that by dragging a color box here from the side to the board. And then you can just adjust the color here how you like it. And for my characters, I want to focus on using some saturated primary colors, so let's pick some of those. I will be adding more to this board later, but now I want to focus on creating the actual characters. So let's create a to-do list here and write down some character ideas that would fit well with our circus setting. And we can create a subboard over here where we can better plan and design some of these characters. And how I like to start when creating a new character is that I want to write some general information about them first. I will just speed this up because this usually takes some time to do. So our acrobat's name is Mona. She's 15 years old and best friends with a tiger who I have named Robbie.
Nice.
And here I have also added some of their likes and dislikes, so it helps me to give this character more of a personality, which then will help me later on with the actual character design. Here also I've added some inspiration pictures and I created this color scheme that we're going to use for this character. Okay, so now we pretty much have a plan for our first character. And while I will go ahead and plan out her animal friend Robbie, I want to quickly just mention that in Milanote you can also share boards with your artist friends too, via email, or give them an editor link so you can work together on creating new characters. And Milanote can also be used on mobile devices, which is great if you want to access your boards on your phone anywhere at any time. Okay, but here is the final board where we have planned out our acrobat Mona and her best friend Robbie. I also went ahead and created a drawing of them together that you have already seen me create in this video. And I also created this other board where I planned out another character you guys have already seen. So if you guys also want to easily plan out your world and character digitally like me, I highly suggest using Milanote for that. It is simple to use and you can sign up for free using a link in the description. With Milanote, you can take your time planning out your characters and create a digital sketchbook for your illustrations. I promise you will love it. So next, let's move on to the headwear category. And these are things that are not really part of the character's body, but they really determine them as characters because they are wearing it. If your character has a halo or some kind of floating thing above their head like a crown or something else, they need permanent notification above their head to remind everyone that they are important and special. Kind of giving that chosen one energy, I think. And you as an artist probably love symbolism, but only when it is extremely strong visually. If you give your OC a big bow, they are trying to mask themselves as being very innocent and shy, but in reality, they are the total opposite of that. They most likely get underestimated or offended when people take them at face value. They most likely have the cute but dangerous trope, which you have tried to make painfully obvious with a giant ribbon. And the same goes with having a bunch of other hair accessories, like headbands or a bunch of cutesy hairpins or something like that. If your OC has a mask, they are not trying to only hide their face, but also try to manage how much of themselves exists at any given time. If it's an oxygen mask, they are dependent on something, like a system or environment, and probably hate that. If it is a surgical mask, they are hyper aware of others and have trust issues. But if it is a full mask hiding their entire face, their identity is just like a performance, and they low-key just hide from themselves. They need therapy. If you gave your OC a helmet, like a space helmet or a soldier helmet, they have some kind of role they need to fill. They probably feel extremely uncomfortable being seen without it, because without the role, they don't really know who they are as a person, and they are emotionally unavailable. You won't get any vulnerability out of them unless something breaks, like literally or mentally. And you as an OC creator like more structured characters, I would say. I think if your OC has headphones on 24/7, they're trying to avoid the world. They overthink every interaction they have ever had and like to pretend they don't hear others, even though they most definitely do. And they like to think that they feel things very deeply, but never want to say that out loud though. And don't lie, if you have this OC, you project on this one. Be honest. If your OC has a hood, it is kind of the same as with the mask. They want control over how much of themselves is visible to others. It gives them comfort and protection. They're very observant kind of characters who like to withdraw, but they are also a little performative. Like they want to be seen as mysterious. This is like if your OC has a hat or hood that is based around a specific animal or a plant. Like a mushroom hat, for example, is a pretty popular one. You want to create an OC that sees the world differently. Like literally, they don't participate in society because they are a forest creature. This OC always has this weird disconnect where they look soft and harmless, but mentally, they're like on a completely different frequency to everyone else.
Bruh.
If you made an object head OC, they're not a person, mostly just a concept with legs. You as a creator enjoy being a little confusing on purpose. I have made a video where I dive into the object head OC a bit more, so go check that out if you're interested. But if you took this concept a bit further and made an OC that is entirely based around an object, that OC is having a constant identity crisis about being reduced into just one thing. Or they either fully accept who they are and feel very proud of it. But there's no in between on these two. It is either one of these. Okay, so that was all in the headwear category, and now we have accessory/clothing category. So these are other things that the characters wear that say a lot about their personality.
Nerd alert!
If your OC has glasses, they most likely overanalyze everything and still somehow keep missing very obvious social cues. They most likely have a pretty bubbly personality and want to be friends with everyone. But if the glasses are broken though, they probably have been through something. But instead of fixing the problem, they just made it part of their personality. If they have goggles, they most likely like to touch dangerous objects just to see what happens. These guys are so unpredictable, but usually have a pretty goofy, humoristic personality. I would say I like them. Every time I see an OC with a big belt, I get the vibe they're trying to hold everything together, like physically and mentally. But it isn't just really working out for them. Kind of screams like control issues, in my opinion. But big belts also kind of feel like something you wanted to add to your character because you didn't really know what else to add. That's just my opinion. If you have given your OC a bag or a backpack they always carry around with them, you wanted to make it seem like they always have every item available they would possibly need. Still, they are always unprepared for whatever you throw at them for some reason. They are always on some kind of journey, making their way through the most unique situations and places. They don't really want to settle down anywhere. And you as a creator love this idea of a journey more than actually ever finishing it. I feel like we just see this being used way too often. So if your character has bandages, they want to show off how much they have suffered. They are hurt, but still manage to function, which usually means they haven't actually dealt with whatever the reason behind the bandages was. We never really know if these injuries were like recent or old, but they're always like there. They never heal for some reason. That is just quite unfortunate for this OC, I think. If your OC is wearing some kind of meaningful piece of jewelry, you know for certain that this object is doing all the emotional labor. Your character's entire backstory is just hanging on their neck, and you're like,
yeah, this explains everything.
Your character is deeply attached to a memory, a person, or a promise they made and depend on it a bit too much. It has become their meaning of life to honor whatever it was that happened and overcome it, and that is kind of all there is to this character, honestly. OCs with big scarves are kind of living in their own cinematic moments at all times, because there is always wind moving the scarf around, so it looks cool. But this character is definitely hiding something, and it doesn't have to be anything physical. It can also be a sign of a deep insecurity, but they want everyone to know they're trying to hide it. That's kind of weird. And the scarf also just adds comfort to any situation, so at least they can wrap themselves into it when everything else just feels unstable. If you gave your OC gloves, it means your character is the careful type. They do not leave traces or want to feel things directly, which indicates a certain level of physical and emotional distance, I think. They also most definitely have control issues, which doesn't make it any easier. They interact with the world through a barrier. Capes on OCs make me feel like the character is always trying to make an entrance everywhere they go. They want to steal everyone's attention with their wardrobe choice. And these OCs are most of the time most delusional characters, but in the best way. They want to make a change, but they never sit down or want to be low-key, because the cape needs to always be present. If your OC has some type of jacket they're wearing, it always indicates some level of protection from something. If it is a trench coat or a lab coat, they have an authority-based identity, like I am what I do kind of character. If it is a big leather jacket though, it is defensive confidence. They want to be seen as intimidating, so no one will try to test them. If it is a big hoodie that covers most of their body and maybe some of their face, they seek comfort, or maybe are just very insecure. Once again, they don't want to be perceived, but still want to be understood by others. There are many types of shoes characters can be wearing, but I wanted to specifically point out big boots because they seem to be pretty common. So big boots on OCs mean they want to feel grounded, powerful, and take up space. And they might not understand it themselves, but it gives that vibe to everyone else. It also adds weight to the character, but not in a way that they are physically heavy, more like in a way they have heavy personality or something. It does often feel like that in my opinion. And now we have the final category, which consists of miscellaneous things that I did not really know how to categorize, because I'm just a girl. This one I mean like as an animal companion that acts more like an accessory than a sentient being who has their own thoughts in life. Their purpose is to just like follow the main character around and be by their side to add some depth to the character, because why not, I guess. If your character has this, it means they need that walking emotional support furball around to express their personality even more. Like if they're a big character with a tiny animal, you want to make it clear that they have a soft spot. And the same goes like other way around. Small character with a big wolf or something means the character wants to be perceived as dangerous, or they are just basically helpless without them and the pet is doing like everything for them, which means the pet is the secret main character, but you refuse to admit that. A weapon pretty much serves the same purpose as the animal companion, I think. Or actually, it can also be the same as the meaningful jewelry one, or it can be both. Anyway, in many cases, it feels like the artist cares more about the weapon than the character itself. Like the sword has a name, the backstory, lore, and those mysterious cool powers that are way too overpowered for your simple generic OC to even have. But hey, at least the character has something. And simply the presence of the weapon makes the character feel capable of causing some trouble if they feel like it. But they most likely have some issues because normal people don't just walk around with a weapon. So if your character is surrounded by something like a firefly, smoke, or a glow, they are dominating their environment. Or at least you as a creator like to claim they do. I'm not that convinced it is always true, so that is why this one feels like a bit of a weird character design choice to me at least. And the crazy thing usually is that no one else in the universe acknowledges the floating stuff around the character. Like it's just completely normalized for some reason. I guess the character's emotions are just so strong that they are radiating off of them. So they're always in their feels like 24/7, but are we all anyway? So those were all the character design choices and what they actually say about your characters. If your character got called out, tell me how in the comments. I love to read your OC lore and stories, so please feel free to share this time how you have designed them. Remember to check out Milanote using the link in the description, and we'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye!